Okay. Now we can talk about United's neighbors, Manchester City. And what's the deal with them? I mean, it was their fourth successive defeat, and for the first time under Pep. I think this was their worst run since 2006.
Pep out. There's only one thing I think. I think we should all come together and demand that the four losses is something which is, it's a crime. And I think Pep Guardiola, if he has any shame left, he should immediately not only leave the City job, he should ideally retire and go to the Himalayas or something and just leave football. So please take this Brighton loss very seriously and fuck.
Yeah, but I don't want him to retire as it at least not this season because of who about let's talk about the first team. I mean the team at the top of the league after some time. But at the same time, that game was Brighton were really good. They played really well. I mean they were smart throughout the game. Once they realized that their pass and move was not working, they simply Van Eke simply launched it to Vitova. I think he launched it to Mitoma on the left, and he created more than once. And even though, again, the next point, even though Brighton's first goal was fumble in the City box, but before that they lost that position in the midfield.
Yeah.
And that takes me to the point: are they missing Rodri? Because it was Kovacic is not a holding midfielder.
He's
He
not.
played he played mostly along with Jorginho and Kante, N'Golo Kante for Chelsea. And when you have players like, say, Nunes started, Gundogan started, Foden started, they need some calm in the midfield. And even for the second goal, Kovacic left Pedro free for a second, and Brighton took their chance. So maybe Rodri deserved his Ballon d'Or, especially over Salah.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. You know what? Last time he was going on and on about Salah, our friend.
Yeah,
I
our
feel
friend who is not here right now.
I thought there was a very long conversation to have talk about somebody who's had a Ballon d'Or, who's had one Premier League title in the whatever 8 years that has been here. That doesn't qualify you for a Ballon d'Or. So yeah, I just thought I'll use this episode to reply to what I should have in the past episode. But you need to win more league titles, my friend. But anyways, no, I think you're right. See, in terms of, I thought what was commendable for Brighton is that their two-man centre midfield of two players that I have no idea who they are. So I'm not even going to try and pretend like I know who Ayari and Hinchelwood are. I have no clue whatsoever. But they were structured in such a way, and you saw Brighton's back four. You didn't really see like a big gap. They were always very compact.
Yeah.
So even there, so you had Van Hecke and you had Estupinian, you had them, and you had Veltman. All four actually. I forgot who their fullback was, but all these three guys, they were always so packed up against their midfield. The City. So if you look at Savinho and if you look at say Nunez and Foden when he makes those runs, they were always dependent on Rodri passing between the lines.
Yeah.
So two things didn't happen. Number one, Brighton blocked off the lines beautifully with just how compact they were, and Kovacic was not able to play those passes. Kovacic was not able to do that. He's not that sort of a player. And I thought Gundogan had a very average game by his standards.
Yeah.
I don't think Gundogan had a good game. I don't think Savinho had a very good game at all. And I didn't understand Pep's defensive changes. So, fine. Rico Lewis and Kyle Walker, that's okay. I think they picked themselves. I have no issues with those two playing. But to go with Guardiola and Simpson Pusey in the center of defense when you have Nathan Ake and Manuel Akanji, who got you through a Champions League final, who got you through an entire season when Diaz and I think Stones were both injured or Stones was playing in midfield, why would you keep them on the bench? I didn't understand it. Especially, you see, it's not like you're facing Southampton at home, or it's not like you're facing one of the relegation-threatened teams at home or something like that, right? Brighton have played very, very well. You're away. Why would you go out with a kid and with Josko Guardiola, who for the longest time has only played as a fullback, suddenly thrusting him into the center? I didn't understand it. I didn't understand those tinkerings that he made at the back, and they affect. See, Welbeck, for all the pace that he has lost, he is still an extremely wily center forward who will probably only make 4 runs in a game, but those runs will be very difficult for a young kid like Simpson Pusey to track. Right? And even we spoke about Jorginho Rutter. Beautiful player. He always occupies those. He sits right in between, right? He's occupying those spaces that are left by City's holding midfield players, and they couldn't deal with it. So I didn't understand Pep's structure, which is a sentence I never thought I'd say. So I don't know. Something is clearly wrong. I think either the players aren't up for it, or Pep isn't really able to figure out how to deal with Rodri and De Bruyne are not playing. But hey, I'm happy, man. I'm happy to see the guys struggle. So you're not going to see a lot of politically correct shit out of me. I'm glad these guys are stuck.
Yeah, that's right. And even about something about Welbeck, people forget that this is the guy who has scored against Real Madrid in the Champions League, who has scored at.
That was his only goal of the season, by the way. I think he scored 2 goals that season, if I remember correctly. I mean, I don't want to piss on your parade, but for that season, he scored 2 goals that season.
No, but he has 2 goals and he has 2 Premier League titles. So he is clearly a very good player. And he is also scored, I mean, for England in major competitions. And even Andy Carroll has scored that. But yeah, Welbeck has always been a very, very, very good player.
He's also scored against Arsenal when we beat them 8-2.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know. We are not going to miss that opportunity of shitting on Arsenal fans and Arsenal. That is the common thread. But yeah, I mean, see, of all of a sudden, City, I'm not going to say toothless, but we can see gaps in their squad. And it is very funny thing to say for a team who has won 4 titles in a row, 4 league titles in a row, and including a treble.
And was still second in the table.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand it. So, can just one player, absence of one player, make so much difference? Because it is quite clear that when you have player like Rodri, your midfield is always calm. Okay, as you rightly said, he makes those between the line passes, and there is a reason he was one of the most important players for Spain that won the Euros. So this is quite baffling, and again that takes me to the time of Alex Ferguson, when at times we had so many players missing, but that did not matter. That just did not matter. So at times I don't understand. Is it due to overtly dependence on systems, or is it just Pep being Pep and not wanting to change, or just sticking to his usual, not exactly tiki-taka, but tiki-taka, but his usual philosophy that he is not going to change? It's quite hard to understand at times, because even if you talk about someone like Russell Martin, the guy doesn't change. I don't understand. And at times I feel how Vincent Kompany got Bayern job after relegating his team.
He'll probably be the next Real Madrid job after Carlo.
Yeah, there's a possibility of that. He might get a Real Madrid job or any job for any top European team. That is quite baffling. I don't understand it anymore.
He has 4 points from 11 games, Russell Martin.
Yeah.
People are talking about him as if he's some sort of a revolutionary football. 4 points, 4 out of 33 available. If I had got that kind of marks in school, no, I would have been skinned alive. And this guy is being talked about as if he's some sort of a fucking footballing savant. Idiot. Russell Martin.
But there is a possibility that he might have a very good job next season.
He's going to be standing in the Santiago Bernabeu. Next season, we are going to see Hansi Flick versus Russell Martin.
If not Real Madrid job, maybe a job at a club like Dortmund. You never know, man.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't understand. I don't get it. I genuinely don't understand.
God. But at the same time, we have to give huge credit to Fabian Hurzeler.
100%.
By the way, he will turn 32 in coming February.
Yeah. Not only is he older than most of his squad, he's also younger than most of his squad. He's also 5 years younger to you and me. He's out there managing a Premier League team. We are sitting here on YouTube blabbering about him managing a football team. That says a lot.
But his career path is so fascinating that he started his career in lower German leagues. He got into management at the age of 23.
20 something, right? Yeah.
At the age of 23, and he was assistant manager of St. Pauli's. I think that he got that permanent in 2022 December, and at that time they were fighting relegation in the Bundesliga too, and in the next season he got them promoted.
At
And
23, you are
I'll
at
give you,
23.
I'll give you one more for the trivia. Do you know who his manager was while he was playing for Bayern Munich reserves?
What year was this?
2020? No, not 20. No, not 20. I don't know what that year was. Eric Ten Hag.
Oh, right. Oh, of course. Tenag was. Oh my God. And Pep would have been, if when Tenag was the manager of the B team, Pep would have been the first team manager,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So, but it must be 2014-17 that time. Yeah.
Such a weird butterfly effect.
Yeah, but you have to give him huge credit, man. He I think there are 5 or 6 players in his team who are older than him, and they all of them say that he always looked like a boss.
Hmm.
He always looked like a boss.
And I think you and I spoke about it. Let's not forget this is a team that has lost Caicedo. This
Yeah,
is a team that has lost Trossard. This is a team that has lost Pascal Gross. This is a team that had Graham Potter as a manager. This is a team that had De Zerbi as a manager. So it's seen a lot of flux.
yeah,
And this guy has just come in and just started, kicking. They're sixth in the table, 19
yeah,
points. They're
yeah.
on par with Chelsea, who are third. That is incredible. Incredible.
And I mean, we also have to give credit to Tony Bloom, their owner, who appointed Graham Potter at first, then De
Mm.
Zerbi, and now him. I
Yeah.
mean, he's a professional gambler, by the way, or a sports bettor. So maybe that gambling instinct comes naturally to him. But that club, Brighton, they are very thorough with their data, and they believe in their data. Something a club like United should do, but Brighton does it so well.
No, and that's what I was also going to tell you. That you said that is what he started managing when he was 23. When you and I were 23, we were sitting in some shady bars in Mumbai, drinking cheap whiskey and eating chicken lollipops.
National Punjab.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which is to be fair, which is also what we did earlier this year. So some things some things haven't changed.
Yeah, yeah, something's haven't changed.
Much like Arsenal not doing anything in the league for another season. So some things, as I said,
I saw that coming.
some things, some things definitely don't change. But but honestly, I think Brighton as a club, I think you're right. We keep talking about their players, we keep talking about their managers, but the club as a whole, brilliant story, brilliant story. And to be fair, not a footballing town.
Yeah, it is not.
Not a footballing town. It's not London. It's not Manchester. It's not like it's
Newcastle,
not
yeah.
Newcastle or something like that. Brighton isn't a traditional. It's not like the Midlands or whatever. Right? It's not a typical footballing town. For them to have this sort of a club, brilliant, absolutely brilliant.